Sorry, Bub is distracting me. Say hello, Bub. Bubble up, bubble up, bubble up, bub. Yeah, tell us about how you feel about homesteading.
You hate it.
I mean, I think the best way to describe it is it's just what we want to do.
Yeah.
It's never going to be 100% self-sufficient. It's just going to be like, how
Yeah.
close can we get
I
in
guess.
today's environment? And then, like, things that could prep us for, I don't know, something rough.
Yeah.
I would like to not be, like, screwed if our satellites go out, or screwed even if as simple and as realistic as we get snowed in, bad blizzard. Oh shit, we're dumbasses and forgot to go grocery shopping, or like we're low or something. Like, for me, that's my thoughts on it is I just, I want to be able to not be like SOL.
Yeah.
Like if something goes wrong, but I don't want to do so much prepping that that we're preparing for the end of the world, because in an end of the world scenario, you're going to want to be nomadic anyways, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You're not going to want to sit in one spot.
I completely reject the idea of prepping for doomsday, and because most of like the preppers, they're kind of prepping to stay in one spot, like you just said, and all you're really doing there is you're just stockpiling shit for looters. That's all you're really doing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you had like an ideal property.
Yeah, but
But, like,
eventually,
by an
someone's gonna
ideal-
find you. Eventually, someone will find
No,
you.
but like I'm saying, an ideal property and a team of people you trust. Like that's the thing. It's different in that sense.
Yeah.
But like this house, like it fits you and I.
Yeah.
This property fits you and I, the chickens and the dogs. Not much else.
Yeah. I guess you're talking about, like, I don't know. I watch a lot of like YouTube channels and stuff about homesteading and like off-gridding.
You watch a lot of YouTube channels about a lot of different things.
Oh, always, yeah, dude. I'm on YouTube all the time. But what I've kind of like gathered is the consensus is yes, homesteading is kind of a subjective thing, in that like everybody who does it like has their own definition and standard of like what it is. And I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself a homesteader at all. I'm more of like a hobby farmer at this point.
Yeah. I think hobby farming is, because I think homesteading is a purpose of like a little more self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't know, because whether we're talking about prepping, homesteading, living off grid, all of those different worlds, the commonality they have between them is self-reliance, and that's really what we're striving. We're striving for it, but self-reliance, we're not striving for total self-reliance. I think we're just kind of recognizing self-reliance and like trying to gain some that we feel like we don't have.
Yeah, or like just like, I mean, I don't know. It's as simple as I get pissed off because I can't find the right kind of produce at the grocery store. Like, I don't touch certain grocery stores' produce because I know it's going to go bad in 2 days, or it was bad to begin with. And so, like, I don't know, there's a comfort in knowing exactly, like, because, vegetables are supposed to be healthy. But at a grocery store, you don't really know what additives are going into it either. So I like the idea of knowing exactly how we're growing our veggies and that kind of stuff. And I know it will never be 100% where we're getting all our own food all the time. I mean, that's unrealistic.
I think that's more realistic than you think. I think we could actually do that.
I think if we were going to go like on a mostly plant-based diet, sure.
No, I mean, we got the chickens, and we would just realistically have to hatch, raise, and slaughter a lot of chickens, and then have a big deep freezer to keep them all in.
I guess. I think for me, I like having the chickens for like the eggs and stuff, and I think I'd rather go vegetarian than focus on... Because vegetarian, you can still have eggs. Yeah, fish too, but...
Really, you just have to have, like, a deep freezer to, like, keep it all.
But also, I want to enjoy life. If I want a good steak once in a while, I want a good steak. Like, I don't want to...
And I guess this is what I was kind of getting at earlier when I was explaining, like, the self-reliance thing, is total self-sufficiency. That sucks. That's not a comfortable... There's a reason we don't do it now, and all of, like, our innovations that we have today... or to like kind of make stuff easier. Like total self-sufficiency is a brutal life.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, total self-sufficiency is you're not using anything. You're not using any kind of outside support or infrastructure. You're
like a mountain man in the
you're
middle of
gathering
the
all
woods
your
and
own resources. You are, sourcing everything on your own, and that is hard.
and miserable.
Yeah. So, but
I mean,
basically,
I'm sure there's people that like it.
oh, I'm sure. But I think with today there's a balance. There's a balance because we live in a society today that is ultra dependent. So,
yes, which is part of the reason I want to do this is to not be ultra independent.
Yeah,
or dependent.
Well, what I mean by like dependent too is like electricity. We're dependent on electricity, and that's not a need. Now, people you think about like if electricity went out, people would die. But we've had no electricity for most of human existence, and civilization prospered just fine.
Yeah.
So you don't need electricity. But it's crazy that if we lost all
skin a bear.
Yeah, if we lost all electricity right now, people would die. Like that's a dependency. They became dependent on this thing.
I think we'd be fine.
We'd be fine, but there's people out there that wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And and I guess that's what I'm saying.
Transient type would be fine.
Yeah.
People who are already used to living it out in the cold.
Yeah, they would. But yeah, there's just like that dependence with society today that I think reclaiming some of your own self-sufficiency, at least at some level, is going to be an overall good for like you as a person. And I don't know, I think like maybe especially with all the stuff like going on with like the government and politics and all of that, I think there's a desire for people to not have the government constantly holding something over you. Because that's what they can do that. They can hold the electricity over you. They hold your comforts over you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think there's a desire to be, if you can become more self-sufficient, then
you should. Yes,
the less influence the government or bad actors could have on you.
Yeah, I wasn't arguing that. I was just...
Yeah, obviously, you're not arguing it. I'm explaining it, Erica. Well, because this isn't... But yeah, that's...
I'd like to, just replace some other things that are, common. Like, I've been doing a lot of reading on, the holistic medicine and stuff. And I found this good book. I like this book because it doesn't say, oh, the medical system sucks, don't go to a doctor. It says, no, if you have this going on, this is not going to help. It's very logical. Because sometimes when you get into that kind of reading, for lack of a better term, granola reading, they'll be like, oh no, you don't need a doctor. You just need... And yeah, sure, in some cases you don't need a doctor, but in some cases you do need a doctor.
Yeah.
So that's why I like this book, but not to go, too off of it. It's nice because it has, remedies for, what's acetaminophen's main job? It's a muscle...
It's an anti-inflammatory.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, ibuprofen. But they have, natural remedies. It's, herbs, and, that, mint is known as a very good anti-nausea thing. Have you ever been nauseous and brushed your teeth?
Yeah.
That's, my go-to because it settles my stomach.
Yeah.
Or, when we were flying back and I had a mint, it settled because I had a little bit of the bug when we were flying back, and yeah.
Yeah, that Herbal Medic book as well.
Yeah, it does the
same thing. At the beginning of it, it does a really good job of explaining what herbal medicine is.
Sorry, it's your garlic. He's trying to eat your garlic you're growing. It's successful, so I don't want him fucking it up. Just go close the door so he doesn't keep coming in. Sorry, technical difficulties. Our cat thinks that he can just do whatever he wants.
Got my phone on the floor.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Herbal Medic book, at the beginning of it, it does I'm going to summarize what he says basically, but herbal medicine is not a replacement for pharmaceutical medicine.
Yes.
Pharmaceutical medicine directly treats your ailments. Herbal medicine supports the immune function that could potentially help your ailments. So, herbal medicine is healthy for you and it helps you, but it's not directly, in most cases, it's not directly treating something. it's supporting your immune system that could potentially fight it off.
Yeah, like drinking orange juice has good vitamin C, and vitamin C is known for keeping the cold away or like helping aid those symptoms.
Yeah.
And that's like because you're getting into all this canning and stuff, and I want to get into that. Like I want these natural cold and flu like remedies in my house just to have instead of getting NyQuil or DayQuil.
Yeah.
Because I do think there's benefits to not being so reliant on going to the drugstore either and getting over the counter medications.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I mean obviously like I'm not saying don't use medications, but definitely if you have knowledge of herbal medicine, that's a good place to start before
exactly
medicine, to pharmaceutical medicines.
Well, in this book, it's nice. You just look up, like, what's going on. And, like, they have, like, stuff that's, like, pertinent to myself that I'm really interested in reading on just for my own self-benefit of, the stuff I have going on, obviously, But, and that's one of the things I want to do, just have all these cool, like... And a lot of it is actually movement, too. So it's not even just herbal protocols. It's, like... It talks about exercise and movement for certain things.
So it's like wellness overall, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the chapters I was reading has like how to self-check your thyroid. But like it also explains like when you self-check your thyroid that like while maybe if there's like a lump or something, you can feel that. Remember this is the most basic way. If you're having issues, still go to a doctor because you can miss surface level things.
Oh yeah.
And if there's, and it's like, if there is a bump, don't panic. It doesn't mean you have thyroid cancer right away. Go see a doctor. So it doesn't I like that because it's like, oh, here's how you can simply check it, but, don't rely on it. It's interesting so far, but.
That's pretty cool. This will be year 2 of me gardening.
Yes.
So I'm excited to really expand that this year and see how much I can actually produce. And I think this year I'll have a better idea of because the goal is to just produce enough this year to where we can actually preserve something because we didn't last year.
No, we were experimenting what grows, how well it grows, what animals we're gonna get taking things because we hung that strawberry plant up in the tree and something was getting it squirrels or deer or something.
I mean. We'll find out if we have, I'm sure, pests and critters and stuff.
I mean, there's nets you can put over it that are made to be, lightweight and, protect from animals picking leaves and stuff.
But, my style of gardening, too, is, and this also has to do with the self-sufficiency stuff, you don't want to spend too much money on your garden. Because then it's, if you're spending a lot of money on your garden and you're doing it because it's a hobby...
And it look pretty.
Go for it. Go for it. But we're kind of aiming for a sufficiencies thing, and we want this to supplement, our food and maybe put a dent in our grocery bill. It's in our best interest to spend as little money as possible.
Yeah.
So, for me, this year I plan on making trellises and A-frames for a lot of, the vine plants, the cucumbers, the squashes, doing those completely out of, sticks. And I'm even going as far as making the rope myself to tie it up. So that right there is all the because that's the trellises for tomato plants and everything else. That's money. That's stuff you have to buy to put into it.
Yeah, but also things that you can do. Say your rope doesn't work out because I have not yet seen a successful rope strand.
Oh, I've got one out there. It's pretty.
Yeah,
good.
It's still if I gave it a hard enough tug.
Yes, but it doesn't. It's certainly strong enough to build a trellis. You're not going to be able to rock climb with it, but I could tie it. I could definitely tie a couple sticks together with it.
Well, also think of old shirts we have. You can pull cloth and just utilize those instead. Because normally when our clothes get holey and stuff, we just throw them away, right?
Yeah.
But that's stuff that you can take. Oh, this is an old shirt. It has holes. I never wear it. I'm just gonna rip it into strips and use that as rope or for a trellis and stuff.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm just giving you more ideas of how to be cheap. Or not cheap, but frugal.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much about being cheap or frugal. It's about sourcing the resources yourself. Like if I need rope and there's no more, hardware store, where the hell do I get rope? Like rope's a pretty important one. So
Yeah.
a few months ago I took it upon myself to learn how to make rope out of plant fibers. So,
Though I do believe like too that I would like to spend some money on setting up for, and I mean this sounds paranoid, but it is. I don't think it's paranoid. It's just something I think I would want to set up for. Is I want like our hiking packs to be like I want almost a hiking pack to go. Like
oh yeah,
if like the world goes down and we're gonna be nomadic. So why don't we have a little bit of rope just for not for projects like the garden, but like projects or just to have if we have to go somewhere.
Yeah, like obviously we're gonna spend money on stuff.
Yeah.
Like we still have jobs. We're still very much on the grid in the system. But
I wish we could just win the lottery, but I don't play the lottery.
True. I I forget where I was going with that, but oh yeah, as far as prepping goes, like a backpack, maybe about a week's worth of food, a good 4-wheel drive vehicle, and some guns. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's food, water, little extra fuel, 4-wheel drive vehicle, guns, backpacks, go.
And the dogs.
Yeah. And backpacks, I mean, like, basic, like, camping shit, maybe. You probably just sleep in the
because at this point in my life, my dogs are a needed requirement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. You never know. We might have to eat them.
Dude, Rosie would feed like 20,000 people, I think. Yeah. She's kind of fat.
There was one time on the last time we attempted to do the podcast, we had one episode where we talked about, like, what our life would look like if electricity was gone tomorrow, and, like, the stuff we would have to do, the changes to the house we'd need to make, and, like, what we would have to do moving forward. I like that. That was, like, a fun thought experiment.
Yeah.
And it really, like, I don't know. I bet we could do a bunch of those for this. Like, not just electricity, but, like, we could even look up, like, these survival scenarios and just kind of, like, talk through, like, well, what would we do? Or think through, like, plans and steps for, all right, if this is to happen tomorrow, like, it's the first thing we'd do,
probably still gotta work.
Yeah.
My boss will still be requiring me in. Satellites are out, but you gotta come in and work.
Yep. Yeah, I thought about that too. That's actually hilarious. I thought about that today. I was like, how bad of a scenario would have to take place in order for me to not have to worry about work anymore?
Yeah. Not sorry, man. Yeah. These packages still got to be delivered.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. All right.
Wait, how? The satellites are down. How are you going to figure out which houses are where?
They'd probably just be like, go, it's the old-fashioned way now.
It's the old-fashioned way? So instead of getting home at 7 p.m., you're going to be home at, like, midnight. Never. Yeah. You'll sleep there, so.
Well, I imagine business would slow down dramatically because people
wouldn't be able to online shop.
Yeah. Yep.
You'd have to do the old-fashioned way and go to the post office to send something. Yeah. Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
We're recording right now.
I know.
That was disrespectful.
Absolutely.
We do gotta come up with a name. What was it? Eggs and Earth?
I have no idea. I don't like Eggs and Earth anymore.
Dirt and Ducks?
I like Dirt and Ducks. Dirt Ducks.
Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, Dirt Ducks.
Dirt, Ducks, Man, Bear, Pig. Just kidding. Dirt, Ducks, and no fucks. I just wanted to say that. Sometimes when I'm texting and my phone autocorrects fuck to duck or ducking, I leave it because it makes me smile and think about my ducks. Who's your favorite duck? Ro. No, she's mine. You can't have her.
Ro's my favorite too. I like Mary too.
Yeah, Mary has my soft spot. The Cayugas, I like them. They're quiet. They're little quiet babies.
Shark's fine too.
Poor buddy.
Yeah, he's got bad legs.
Yeah.
And then I like all the ducks. None of them are like bad tempered or anything. No.
But Ro's personality is by far the best. She's little Miss Boss. Mm-hmm. She bosses everyone around. Mm-hmm. Her and Mary are buddies.
Yes, they are. They're adventure buddies whenever they get to leave the pen.
No, but they all follow Ro, man. Yeah. Like, because maybe they start split up, but then they'll all follow Ro. Mm-hmm. So she's the leader.
Yeah, I would say so. It's interesting. I don't... Since
and
the
our chickens have clicks.
Yeah. I was just going to say, since the ducks are fairly new to me, I don't know if it's similar to chickens. Because with chickens, there will be like a top... Even if there are roosters, there will be a top female.
Yeah, there's the pecking order, right?
Yeah. And there's a female who's like the top bitch, and they...
Oh, I'd assume there's a pecking order with ducks.
Yeah, I would assume. I don't know. Because it's interesting because they're very welcoming to newcomers, which makes me think there is no pecking order.
Ro wasn't very nice at first to the...
To who?
The Cayugas. She was
I felt like they
only
were
like twice, but like she was a little snotty at first.
Oh, was she? Mm-hmm. I didn't know.
When they were like the awkward teenage phase.
Yeah. Yep.
She picked on them.
Did she?
Yeah. But she had to let them know who's boss.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's a
I would assume.
I don't know. That's something we can look up though. Someone's got to know. I love that page I follow. That lady has so much information about ducks. And they build all these beautiful, nice coops. Oh, she has them all. She has call ducks, runner ducks, like every breed you can imagine.
We'll definitely do an episode just on chickens. You know, we can even if we have like a day where we just like don't know what we're talking about, we can just pull a topic out of a hat, and whether it's chickens, the garden, canning, medicine, doomsday stuff, whatever. Like,
yeah. Talk about our future prep store.
Yeah, ducks. Like all kinds of stuff.
I really want to come up with a title so I can start the social media stuff and keep it in my head.
Well,
Dirty Ducks.
Dirt Ducks Ram. Now,
Duck and dirt. Instead of fucking dirt.
Oh, duck.
Oh, duck.
Well, I don't know, though. If we put duck in the title, people are going to think it's all about ducks.
I'm okay with that.
But it's not.
I could talk about my ducks all day long, every day. And Bub. Even though he tried to eat your garlic. That's why I've been leaving this room door closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more responsible than you.
Definitely.
Bub is a plant eater.
Talk about Bub's girlfriend.
That little hussy better stop coming around.
I know.
Just kidding. I feel bad. I've tried to let her inside several times, but she's definitely a barn kitty that wants no business of being inside.
Yeah.
No, not our barn kitty. Like, across the way. We don't have a barn.
Yeah.
But some cats prefer that, man. And, I mean, she seems fine, but she does come up to the door, and I definitely think she looks for Bub. I do worry about her getting, like, the Silky. Because she's so small, the Silky is.
Yeah. Portia. Yeah, perhaps.
Maybe I need to buy Portia some chicken armor. Just little chainmail.
Could call it something Homestead.
It's bleak.
What about something about reliance? Self-reliance.
Could be misconstrued, but...
Why?
I don't know. I mean, reliance just like in there almost makes it sound like a political movement or something. I don't know.
It's exactly what this is.
No.
I'm trying to overthrow the government.
With tomatoes?
Yes. You laugh.
My tomatoes are the best tomatoes. Hey, if you grow enough, we don't have to buy dog food anymore. Rosie loves them.
Yep. Dude, I'm Big Ag's worst nightmare.
It took me a minute to understand what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Big Ag. Who says that?
Me. Lots of people say that.
You're looking wild, too. You look like a wild, like... Because you kind of look... You got the Daryl Dixon unkept wild long hair going on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's actually a compliment because that man is fine.
Yeah.
That man is gorgeous. But I was sitting here and I was looking at you and I'm like, Oh my god, I don't like his hair this long, but he's got this Daryl Dixon vibe. And it's actually like...
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, like, I think the minute it clicked for me as you were talking, it was when you were saying all you need, and you're like, in guns.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, damn. Okay, Daryl.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful man. Norman Reedus. I saw him first in Boondock Saints, not The Walking Dead. Gonna grow chamomile for our tea.
Yeah. I'll grow tea stuff.
And hops for our beer. I'm just kidding.
We could grow hops.
Nah, I don't want to.
Discussed it, but yeah, never done it. I don't know how they grow up here. I imagine not bad.
Yeah, but remember hops have to be like, they have to grow on.
Yeah, they got. You need like a pole for them.
Yeah.
Or a wire.
Well, that one brewery just used a wire, like it was thin and it just grew up.
That was pretty cool.
But,
like I haven't seen many breweries that grow the hops at the brewery. I thought that was neat.
Well, and it's definitely not all the hops they use but it was a cool show of like, oh hey, that's interesting. Yeah, that was Mountain Cowboy, right?
Yep. Yeah. In Frederick, Colorado.
Yes. Shout out to that place. It's great. Also, I loved when the Alaskan codfish and chips truck would be there.
Yeah.
Remember, that'd be like a date night when we lived in Colorado. We'd go there to get fish and chips, and then we'd split the fish and chips before they cut it down to only 2. Mm-hmm. But they used to put, remember, like 4 and then tartar sauce in there?
Yeah.
Is it tartar sauce? Is that what they put on fish?
Yeah, tartar sauce. I like how that truck didn't have a menu either. Like that's
all you could get. Like if you're gonna do a food truck, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, don't have a menu. Have one thing you sell. And I'm still trying to brainstorm a name here.
Mashed corn shits.
There it is.
No. Here's where we run into trouble. I want something creative and fun, and you want something very direct and to the point. Well, and you're gonna win.
Well, no, that's fine. That's we'll find a balance.
Yes, Jedi Master.
Thank you.
Now I'm trying to imagine Daryl Dixon as a Jedi.
Orange rhubarb chutney.
Ooh. I like that, though. I like that we'll probably never talk about that, but it would still be good.
Blueberry basil vinegar.
Not as good as chutney.
Yeah.
I've
never heard of chutney.
I don't know what chutney is. No, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
For a podcast.
Yep.
I almost would like something like Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, but like in that cadence.
Yeah.
But like what? Dirt, ducks, and canning beets.
Dirt, ducks, and chutney.
Dirt, ducks, and pickled eggs. We are a big fan of pickled eggs. Maybe we got to go into that. Maybe we need a whole episode on pickled eggs. Yeah. Oh my god, maybe we do an episode where we pickle like several different eggs and we try them as we do an episode.
Yeah.
And we try like each different pickling brine we did.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe we start with like a mild, like the apple cider, and then we get spicier and spicier.
That'd be a good idea.
It'll be a fun podcast too.
That would be fun.
That one we would have to probably like video though.
Yeah.
Be fucking weird though. Just pickled eggs.
Dude, love it. I've watched. How do you think I learned how to pickle eggs?
YouTube
videos with people pickling eggs. Yeah. So.
I literally thought it just came to you while you were playing with your pickle.
Ducks, dirt, eggs.
Or like The Office has the Finer Things Club. What would be the like the Lesser Things Club, or like
the Poor People Club? That's actually funny.
Yeah, that is funny. The Poor People Club. I think we'd get like people who like start watching and like, what? This is about homesteading?
The Poor People Homestead. It's another word for homestead. I kind of don't like homestead.
Yeah, homestead's too like bulky. Poor people, peasants, the peasant's garden.
The serfs something. The serfs.
I like
Plebes, peasants. I do like peasants.
Peasants is funny.
The peasants plantation. I was going for the alliteration there, but that one's a little rough.
Is it rough, or are our minds just fucked that the first thing we think of when we hear plantation is not cotton?
Peasants hacienda.
I like that.
Peasants acreage.
We don't have acreage. Poor People's Gardening Club. What's another word for gardening?
Cultivating. Or garden. Horticulture, cultivation, farming, agriculture, farm work, tillage, culture.
The Poor People's Tillage.
Agronomy.
The Poor People's Tillage. What's wrong with that? Oh.
Tillage, peasants tillage. That sounds funny.
Tillage of peasants. Poor People's Pepper Patch. But we grow no peppers. Well, we got some things to play with and think about.
I do like the peasants.
Something the peasants or something. Poor people.
Yeah.
I like both.
I do too.
Because that says like we're trying to do it on a budget too.
The Peasants Podcast.
Kind of like it.
Yeah.
Actually, I do like it because it kind of covers everything. Because what type of people have to do? Because, see, I think of medieval times peasant and how they all had their own home gardens and homesteading, and it was for a survival thing.
Yeah, the definition of a peasant is a poor farmer.
Oh, yeah. The Peasants Podcast. I like that, actually. And it's kind of to the point.
Yeah. A poor farmer of low social status who owns a small piece of land for cultivation.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
The Peasants Podcast. Welcome to our first episode.
Yes. That's where we'll end it.